Property linking is a brand new feature in Adobe After Effects, and essentially it works via the mechanism of expressions, but it simplifies the entire workflow beautifully. I just want to illustrate this with a couple of compositions that I've created. This is a very simple composition created from a couple of shots from a short I directed recently called Theft Unexpected. And we don't actually have any masked content like this in the film, but you can see I've got a couple of clips here and they're just masked really, one on one layer and one on the other. Now, let's say I'd like to apply a glow effect to these layers independently, and I want to adjust the settings for that glow effect on both of them at the same time. Now, I could do this with an adjustment layer, right click, and a new adjustment layer, and then I could apply the effect on there. But then that's going to apply the effect to every layer underneath it, and that could introduce some unwanted results, and it could add a little bit of unnecessary complexity. Just going to select this layer and hit the delete key. So I'm going to show you a brand new way of achieving this with After Effects. I'm going to go up to my effects and I'll just type in glow here in this quick search box, and I'll throw the glow onto, well, let's go for the layer at the top here. And right away you can see this very visible effect. And so we've now got a really bright hat. And this is perhaps not a completely natural looking effect, but at least it's pretty strong. I'm going to select this glow effect in the Effect Controls panel, and under the Edit menu, I can now choose Copy with Property Links. Now, I'm on a PC, so I've got my keyboard shortcut as Control-Alt-C, or this would be Command-Alt-C on a Mac. Having done that, I can select the other layer in my composition, and I can just go to Edit, and I can choose Paste, or Control or Command-V. And right away, you can see I've got my effects. Now, so far, so good. This is very much like copying and pasting effects between layers normally. But look at this. All of these numbers are in red. And in fact, if I try to adjust the glow intensity, for example, you see my numbers go orange for a moment, and I release the mouse and everything jumps back to the way it was. And that's because this set of controls no longer actually control this effect. If I select the other layer and make an adjustment here, so let's take that glow intensity and adjust it. Well, you can see right away. Now I'm working with adaptive resolution here, so I'm just going to crank this up really high, and let's turn up the glow radius. In fact, you can see that really visibly. I'm adjusting both layers at once. And how is this possible? Well, it's actually pretty simple. If I just twirl down here my second layer and expand out my effects and my glow, here are my red numbers for that effect because I can't change them. And let's take a look at this glow radius, and there, now you can see I've got an expression. Let me just pull this out a little bit. I've got an expression already applied to this adjustment, which is fantastic because if I want to, I can break the connection between this control and the original layer. Let me just show you what I mean. I'm going to pull this up a little bit so you can see the controls a little more clearly. Let's say I want the glow radius on this layer to be adjusted independently of the glow radius on this layer. Well, I'm going to click on my expression and I'm going to hit the delete key. Now my glow radius has turned orange. Remember, in Adobe applications, if you see orange numbers with an orange underline, you can click and drag or click and type, and now I am adjusting the glow radius independently for this layer. But if I go to any of the other controls, they're still locked. Let's just scroll up a little bit and flatten this layer, select my top layer, and now if I adjust maybe, well, let's go for the glow intensity again, you can see it's adjusting both. But if I adjust the glow radius, just layer one. How fantastic is that? You now have a mechanism, a very easy to use mechanism. Simply choose Edit and Copy with Property Links. You've got this mechanism to adjust the effects on multiple layers with the controls on a single layer. I can do the same thing if I want to make color adjustments. Here, for example, I've got another composition with a few shots again from a short that I directed a little while ago. It's called Theft Unexpected. It's about people stealing biscuits. And let's say I'm going to put a simple color effect on. Maybe I'll put in simple color balance. Let's throw this on here. And I want to just increase the red. I'll make this really visible. And let's have the shadow and midtone red balance right up here. And I've got this camera angle used a couple of times. Here it is again. There we go. We've got this sky over at the end of my composition. So what I'm going to do is select this effect, edit, copy with property links, select this layer at the end, edit, paste. Of course, you could use the keyboard. And now, once again, if I go back to my first layer, I can make adjustments. And look at that, it's adjusting the last layer as well. This is a powerful new feature, and it opens up a lot of new effects workflows. You can even copy a whole layer with the copy with property links option. And if I now deselect and paste, I'm pressing Command or Control V, you can see I've now got a whole extra layer with all of the properties linked together. So that's property linking in Adobe After Effects.